It does my heart good to see just how much horror manga is catching on in the West, bringing with it eeriness and sometimes horrific gore as opposed to the endless jump scares of modern horror. It reminds me of the golden era of the 2000s, where every second horror movie was a moderately good adaptation of Japanese stuff. But where manga differs is in the extremity of the content, and oh boy, are there some disturbing manga out there. Let's take a look at 5 of them. Number 5. Pygmalion. It's surprising that this one never became better known, what with FNAF still being inexplicably popular and the whole killer mascot subgenre getting some more attention. Yes, it's the somewhat infamous ultra-edgy killer mascot manga that, while not especially scary, is certainly disturbing, occupying its own little spot in the ever-expanding what the fuckalypse genre. Pygmalion feels very Kentaro Sato-ish in that it mostly knows what its audience wants. Bland characters getting ripped apart in creative ways by something cute now turned nightmare fuel. Still though, it's quite a ride. Number 4. Manhole. Medical or contagion horror probably strikes a bit close to home for some right now, and as far as these go, Manhole is about as good as they come. 1 part detective procedural, 1 part contagion fiction, and 1 part grotesque body horror. This yarn is pleasantly succinct, and that's the only thing pleasant about it. If body horror and disease freak you out, some parts of this are guaranteed to leave you itchy, as Manhole really does manage to bring the squicky icky in entirely new ways. Number 3. The Drifting Classroom. Kazuo Umezu is, in my opinion, the single best horror mangaka around, and this is pretty much his magnum opus. While it's not especially well known now, this made a huge impact in Japan on its release and spawned a kind of popular even now feature film. Storyline-wise, The Drifting Classroom sits somewhere between Lost and Stephen King's The Mist. It involves an elementary school suddenly vanishing and reappearing in a weird, sinister desert realm. The students and staff must try to find a way to survive, which, as you'd expect, kind of turns into Lord of the Flies after a while. As with most of Umezu's stuff, only those with very strong stomachs need apply, as while the gore isn't quite as explosive as other entries on this list, it does feature a lot of injuries and death inflicted on, well, kids. Sometimes by kids. Yeah, it's Kazuo Umezu, what do you expect? At number 2. Jin Men. The what the fuckalypse genre seems to be becoming its own definitive subgenre within horror manga, and this one takes it to an entirely new level. Possibly inspired by the Jin Men-kun or human-faced dog of Japanese urban legends, this twisted little tale sees animals across Japan begin to develop creepy humanoid features and rebel against their former overlords. We get tons of gore, and frankly some of the sickest stuff I've seen in a very long time, as well as 1 or 2 moments that scared the absolute pants off me. Yep, that is creepy as hell, and it's only the start of the nightmare fuel waiting for you in Jin Men. This warped little apocalyptic gross out will likely be staying with you for a long time yet, and it's starting to develop a bit of a following online. Track it down, give it a read, enjoy the diarrhea fever dreams. Finally, at number 1. Monkey Peak. If you're a fan of horror manga, you've probably had this one recommended to you a fair amount. I know I have, and yeah, after reading it, I can see why. Monkey Peak is an odd duck. It's essentially the love child of Severance and Deliverance, or possibly its Canadian sister, Rituals, with perhaps a bit of The Girl Who Loved Tom Gordon thrown in for good measure. It's certainly unlike anything I've read before. Wilderness survival horror. What a cool concept. The plot is simple. A large group of employees belonging to a pharmaceutical company in Japan wind up stranded in the mountains after their team-building expedition is disrupted by what seems to be a demonic killer ape and must hike their way out. Naturally, this being survival horror, with an emphasis on survival, everything is out to get them. From the dangerous terrain, a lack of supplies, the aforementioned monster monkey, and, well, each other. Dark secrets are revealed, paranoia builds, and dangerous alliances are formed within the ranks of the survivors. It's pretty damn fascinating and legitimately brilliant. Good art, great characters, amazing atmosphere, some interesting insights into the realities of Japanese corporate life, some absolutely bone-crunchingly brutal scenes, and a pretty compelling mystery. Can we please get a proper Western release of this one already? I know a lot of us are waiting. Anyway, that's me for the day. Thanks for watching. Did I miss any? Let me know in the comments. Cheers, take care, and I'll see you next time. This is the Owl, signing off.